Welcome to this Photoshop tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to blur an image. Now there are a number of reasons why you might want to blur an image, but we're just not going to go over why you'd want to, but we're just going to tell you, I'm going to tell you how to do that. So first thing we want to do is we want to create a new layer because we don't want to do it on our background layer. And if you're not familiar with layers, that's something else that we'll get to another time. But to duplicate the layer, all you need to do is press Control J on Windows or Command J on Mac, or you can, well, since it's a background layer, you can double click because it says background there. That means it's a background layer. Double click it. That'll open up this styling box. You can just hit enter. It'll make it a regular layer. Then you can also click and drag it down to the new icon layer. That's the new icon right there, and it'll create a separate layer. So now we have two layers here. And if I move it around, you can see that I have two separate layers here. Now, if this is too complicated for you, don't worry. That's not the point of this. The point of this is just how to blur an image. So to blur an image, all we need to do is go up to Filter on our menu up here, Blur. Then you have all these different blur options. You can Gaussian Blur is going to be the one you're going to use the most. So I'll just go ahead and select Gaussian Blur, and Gaussian Blur is here. And you see we have a little checkbox for the preview. We can turn the preview on or off. Let me turn up the radius so you can see it better. That's the blurred image, and that's how it was before. So this little button right here allows you to gives you a preview of what your image is going to look like. So I'm going to turn that on. And let's make this nice and blurry. Say we want this for a background for something and we don't want it to stand out. All right, I think that radius of about 8.5 is good. And this radius kind of guides how blurry it is. You can either click right here and press the down arrow to make it less, or the up arrow to make it more. And so I'm just pressing the up arrow on my keyboard and the down arrow on my keyboard. Or you can put your mouse on the radius and it'll see it changes your cursor. You can drag left and right, and you can also use the slider and you can bring it way down or you can bring it way up. I think a radius of about 8.8 will work good for this project. So I'm just going to go ahead and click OK and see here we are. We have our blurred image, Gaussian Blur in Adobe Photoshop CC. So I'm just going to turn this layer off, and then there's the original, and then there's it with it blurred. And that's how you can blur something with Gaussian Blur in Adobe Photoshop CC.